You are listening to your number one station, RX Radio. Hoping you are doing great today. And as always, I like to ask, I hope you are keeping safe too, because we are living in dangerous times. As a nation, we are currently in mourning. Why? Because of the unfortunate incident that happened at Queen Elizabeth National Park on Tuesday. Did you see that story? My goodness, of a tourist and the driver that was murdered by assailants. Now, the Uganda People's Defense Forces has said that they are currently on the pursuit of these assailants who killed the two tourists and their driver on Tuesday. According to the Army spokesperson, Brigadier Felix Kulaije, following the incident, a hunt for the assailants has kicked off. He said that yesterday morning they inserted assets, both physical and technical, to hunt down these fellows, and we are on the trail. The assurance I have, this is what the spokesman said, the assurance I have is a joint team of UPDF combatants, police and Uganda Wildlife Authority and technical assets have been deployed to ensure that they are hunted down and killed. The president did issue a statement earlier on Wednesday saying that the UPDF has changed their tactics using, the tactics they're using to hunt down these rebels behind the attack. He noted that the Ugandan army has been using one form of tracking these fugitive groups from Congo by following their tracks, but said more reliable ways of tracking them have been discussed and will be applied. He further said that the tourists killed were newlyweds and had come to Uganda for their honeymoon. It just breaks your heart, doesn't it? They came here not knowing that all these dangers were lurking. They just wanted to spend some time together as a newly wedded husband and wife. And the unfortunate tour guide, the driver, who all three of them were murdered by these assailants. And I'm seeing, people say that it could be ADF. Different people were saying ADF was the one responsible for these attacks. I'm not sure I've seen an official acknowledgement by the ADF, but they seem to be the likely culprits because they're quite active in the area. The army spokesperson, in the meantime, is assuring terrorists that, hey guys, this was an isolated incident, and the hunt will ensure that you guys who are behind this attack are going to be brought to book, and that you will never be having the chance to do it again. In the meantime, he's asking tourists to not cancel their visits and bookings to Uganda's national parks over this, what he calls an isolated incident. Of course, easier said than done. I'm sure all the embassies and foreign missions are issuing travel advisories to their citizens, warning them about coming to Uganda because our national parks are not safe. Of course, you know what this means. It means our economy is going to take a huge hit. As you know, our economy heavily relies on tourism. And so for tourists, in light of this development, to say, hey, we're not coming to Uganda, that only means that our country is going to take a huge economic hit, as if the economy wasn't already strained. Now things are going to get even harder. It just, it's just so unfortunate. It breaks the heart. It's so tragic, very terrible for Uganda, and of course for the unfortunate victims who only were here to enjoy their honeymoon. Oh man, I just hate these damn ADF guys. I wish they'd just disappear. Well, joining me on the Fatboy Show, I'm here joined by Mr. Inno Prince, and hey, he's hanging out with us here today. How are you doing, Inno Prince?
I'm doing good, Fatboy. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing okay on one hand, but on the other hand, I'm a bit miffed by this. Just upset that this is still ongoing. Have you ever been to any of our national parks?
Yeah, I've been there. Actually, I come from there.
From
my parents reside that side. They stay in Kasese, and the national park Queen Elizabeth is just in that place.
It's right in that area.
Yeah, it's in that district.
So, do you know of people that you know personally, family members who've been victimized by, the ADF goons?
Yeah, so many. The recent one was the attack that happened at the school.
Yeah.
The school where several students lost their lives. And some parents, I know parents that come around, that stay around our neighborhood. And so it was unfortunate about that, and still to date we're having such incidences still happening in that region.
Now, we as Ugandans, we pride ourselves in wanting to be happy and living a good life and partying and making merry. So I don't know. Of course, there's people expressing their outrage over this. Do you think it's going to be one of those things where once again the story will fade into the background, we'll forget about it, and then we'll just carry on? Or do you think this dark cloud is going to hang over us for some time?
It's going to hang over for some time, because it's not the first time this is happening, and it's continuously happening, despite all the approvals and the opinions that are coming from the security authorities, from the government.
Yeah.
It's still happening, and I doubt if this will come to an end unless the people that are supposed to be putting that security in place
do their job.
Really do their job. And it is also in between. If you look at the people that they keep claiming to be the people in charge, or who did, or even what had just happened.
Yeah.
They say they are based in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Well, we've been conducting a series of air strikes. The president's been tweeting about all these airstrikes we've been carrying out. And of course, with the blessing of the government of the DRC. So it would appear that those airstrikes either aren't effective. I don't know if these attacks were retaliatory in any way in response to those airstrikes. But of course, it's a terrible day for Uganda. It's a sad day for Uganda. It's a sad day for tourism. If you are a tourist or someone considering coming to Uganda as a tourist, would this event, this incident, would it make you change your mind? Would you cancel your plans if you'd been planning to travel to Uganda?
It would surely cause me to question my traveling in the first place. I would really be concerned.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't just easily take that decision to come through. Actually, I don't know how true what I'd just seen via some social platform online, where the UK government had already put out a statement.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Warning their citizens
citizens on traveling to Uganda for
Man.
a maritime or
Yeah.
very tragic. It's a big blow to the tourism industry.
So then, do you think it's also kind of ironic because, while this is an isolated incident, it's not something that happens often.
Yeah.
But if this alone is going to make tourists cancel their plans to Uganda, whereas in many of these countries, America in particular, a lot more people die.
I see where you're going.
A lot of people are killed in various cities, major cities,
violence.
due to gun violence. So, I mean, if someone's supposed to be scared to travel to someone's country, it should be us who are scared to travel to America. And yet, we don't typically listen to, we never ever see travel advisories being issued by our government about traveling to America, about traveling to, different places in the Middle East. They kind of just leave it up to us to decide where we want to go. The only time I've seen the government get involved with people who travel overseas is at least lately, I've been seeing the government say a few things about those who are seeking employment in, say, Saudi Arabia. Like the people who use recruiting agencies to get jobs as maids and domestic workers. Obviously, as you know, there's been incidents of people being trafficked, passports stolen, not being paid, or just abused by their employers.
Sure.
So I've seen the government try to say a few things about that. But outside of that, nothing. I've heard nothing from our government about different parts of the world we shouldn't visit. So I don't know. I just find that to be one of the odd contradictions in which many of the countries that would warn their citizens about visiting Uganda don't seem to care so much about their countries being equally dangerous places to visit, if not more dangerous than Uganda.
Yeah, sure. That it still shows you the superiority that those people try to impose on us, or
right?
To show us how too big they are.
Yeah,
and they want us to bow
to
them, and you could see there's been some bad tension ever since the other bill was passed in Parliament.
The anti-homosexuality bill.
Anti-homosexuality bill.
Yeah.
Between those countries that are really.
By the way, there's that because.
So with such an incident happening, they would really want to jump on and air out any views that they would have.
Actually, you've just reminded me because already a lot of gay activists have been on social media warning their citizens to not travel to Uganda because of this law. So you've got the gay people not wanting to come as tourists. Now I don't know how many of the tourists who come to Uganda are gay, but I would guess many would be sympathetic to them. So out of solidarity, might choose to not visit us. And now this.
And this is
so things are going to get tough here in Uganda, yo.
Oh, sure. Hard times are coming ahead.
Hard times are coming.
We have to be more hard and also go through.
Right?
Regardless.
Anyway, that's life. You face your problems and your adversities, but you just pick up the pieces and try and move forward and hope for a better future and a better tomorrow. Well, do keep listening to The Fatboy Show here on RX Radio. Sarah is going to be joining us in just a bit to tell us what's popping. That and, of course, more great music coming your way here on The Fatboy Show.
RX Radio.